I'm looking at Quintong. He's part of an article in the Financial Times Weekender, an article written by Catherine Hille called Striking Out. And it's all about an exploited workforce. She's a shop floor activist turned into a best-selling author. Her book is called From the Wolf's Burrow into the Tiger's Den. And the Financial Times Weekender probably has the best reason to buy a Sunday paper this weekend because it covers young Chinese as they're running from the fields into Foxconn and large factories like that. It's part of a story that underlies some parts of the Financial Times because the weekend edition covers a lot of economics, as you'd expect, and stories that involve consumer electronics, something that's close to my field of interest. I'm Bernie Goldbach. I work over on insideview.ie. Twitter, I use the nickname there called topgold. But when I'm in the shops, I buy chocolate. And Jack Farcy's pointed out, it's going to cost me more. The futures for cocoa beans are going mad. The prices of the basic ingredients of chocolate are at their highest level in 33 years, he says. Production problems for the Ivory Coast were documented in the Financial Times more than 2 months ago. Cocoa output has fallen short 4 years in a row. Cocoa output's dropped below the level of consumption. Some other interesting items in the Sunday Times, in the Financial Times, reason not to buy the Sunday Times because you can't get anything worth looking at. But in the Financial Times Weekender, Michael Shapinker points out that a high salary is right in our age of austerity. He's taking up an issue concerning education, and should a head teacher be paid more than the Prime Minister? He says, why not? Michael Gove, who's the Education Secretary in Britain, has declared no head teacher should earn more than the Prime Minister's 142,500 sterling a year. But he point out, as Shapinker points out, you get to be a Prime Minister and then you get on to the speaking and memoirs circuit. So you're going to earn a whole lot more money after you leave the Prime Minister's office. And it's just the beginning. Moreover, Cameron's only been in office since early May. He has yet to prove that he can be as fractionally as effective as the head teacher, Mr. Elms, and provide a return on the taxpayer's investment. Billionaires bearing gifts. Christopher Caldwell makes the issue that philanthropy as you know it may not be as simple. Both Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have this thing called a giving pledge, which played well when it was published in Fortune magazine, but the backlash is pretty interesting. People just don't think that maybe the public doesn't think that people should be having so much money in their pockets. Gates thinks there's a formal decision-making role now that billionaires have taken on, and it's a new constitutional order. On a talk show, he told Charlie Rose, the government and this NGO sector are kind of complementary to each other. Billionaire philanthropists are sharing an interest, a class interest, in maximizing control and leverage over their own objectives and the way things are done with your tax money. Inside, the technical side of the company's international section, Steve Jobs says he's sorry for his reception issue of the iPhone 4. Joseph Menn writes in Cupertino he attended a press conference there. Free cases are being given out. There is no antenna gate, says Steve Jobs. Everything's blown out of proportion. Most smartphones have a similar issue. Right, Steve, when you have an audience that says, look, my calls are dropping because of your antenna, you actually have an issue concerning industrial design, where industrial design, subordinates everything else, such as antenna design. Jobs says that everybody has a problem with it. Any kind of a smartphone owner has a problem with it. Well, yeah, if you hold the top and the bottom and you smack your phone down hard. Steve might have been stunned by Consumer Reports, but the fact is, CR actually asked for some feedback from Apple, but the closed culture there prevented some of the people involved in the actual antenna manufacture or antenna engineering from responding in a timely fashion. So now you have free cases. Fact is, most of my friends don't use their iPhone to phone. I'm not sure how that's happening. How do you get? I guess because voice is subordinated now to data or touchscreen ingenuity. Patient buyers are retaining high hopes for the Dreamliner. Belita Clark gives a picture of the Dreamliner. Running behind schedule in terms of manufacturing. Continental Airline hopes to run that particular aircraft from Houston to Auckland. Virgin Atlantic may go directly from London to Honolulu. Beyond just distance and the efficiencies of fuel that aircraft brings to bear, there are some really good internal pressurization and humidity level controls inside the 787, which makes you arrive refreshed. And finally, Times visits are falling by 2/3, Esther Bintiff says that the visitors to the London Times website have dropped by more than 2/3 since the paywall rolled up there. But that decline's been gentler than the 90% fall in traffic some researchers had expected. The Times has doubled its online advertising sales since the paywall went up. And I'm not sure they're going to make the money even by doing that. Anyway, that's the story from here. I'd encourage people not to buy the Sunday papers in Ireland in late July and August because there's really nothing there. But you can't go wrong in the FT weekend. And that's me, not on the paper, but a short summary of what I saw inside of interest. I hope you're enjoying your weekend on the 17th, 18th of July, and that you'll check back at quick.com/topgold or audioboo.fm/topgold or insideview.ie for more details. Thanks a million. From here in Cashel County, Tipperary, Ireland, bye for now.